Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I am back, and it is time for another Starcraft 2 Probots cast. Today we are going to be having MicroMachine taking on RStrelok. We saw the little chat blurb that goes by quickly at the start there. Yeah, RStrelok apparently going to be having a tough one this game, seeing as how MicroMachine did say that it's won 100% of their encounters. And that doesn't, 100% is pretty absolute. It doesn't leave a lot of room for wiggle room. And we've actually got a TVT today. Looks like RStrelok is going to be sending out an SCV scout after throwing up its barracks. And then we've actually got MicroMachine, yeah, just going for a similar opening. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for tuning in to these Probot commentaries. Make sure to go ahead and hit that like button. Seeing as how MicroMachine has won 100% of these bots encounters, can we go ahead and hit 100% of the likes on this video? I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, if we could hit 100 likes on this video, that would be bonkers, I do say. Yeah, it has been a while since I've done a video, just not like ages, but since I did a video that wasn't just like a tournament VOD, it's been about a week, and so I kind of had a week off from Starcraft. Well, not from Starcraft 2, I was still playing, I even streamed a bit, but from commentating, and I think that it wasn't something that I necessarily planned, it just kind of happened, and I think it was good for me, as with everything in life, it's sometimes good to take a break, even if it's something that you really love. But of course, I definitely still love casting StarCraft 2, checking out these bot games, and I'm excited to see how this one's gonna develop. We've got a very orthodox opening coming from these two players. I mean, it's basically just macro on both sides of it. It's looking a little bit like a normal TVT opening. Straylock panic at vodka error, not enough vodka to think of any reliable strategy. Using neural networks power, strategy chosen, proxy 13, base aggressive push. Okay, alright, Straylock, telling us that there's not enough of that. Alright, anyway, we see this Reaper of MicroMachine giving RStrelok quite a hard time. There's no Reaper out for Straylock yet. It seems to have delayed its first Reaper a little bit, as it's focusing on gas very, very heavily, but gonna lose a couple of workers to this Reaper of MicroMachine. So MicroMachine microing its Reaper. I think that's clearly one of the signature moves of MicroMachine, is its micro, moving all over the place at a whopping 800 APM, but Straylock actually has a much higher APM. These two are now going to engage in a Banshee battle. Looks like the two are going to agree to just not kill each other, as we see Straylock is now actually doing some long-distance mining. This is very, very interesting. How gas-heavy Straylock is going. Because right now, look at this. I think Straylock has got more SCVs mining gas than minerals right now. Or it's pretty close to that. Two Reapers for MicroMachine do get into the main base of Straylock once again. The Cyclone, however, does lock on and kills one of them right away. The Cyclone is going to lock on and kill the second one. Those 200 SCVs are running away from the Reaper, trying to make sure they're not easy pickoffs. And the game's going to continue on as we see Straylock going into a Magfield Accelerator Cyclone play. And MicroMachine going into a Cloak Banshee on its side of the map. Now, yeah, this is a very interesting play from both of these bots. However, they're at a very reasonable amount of workers. We see MicroMachine getting for a scout. Wow, look at the clicking there from Straylock, or the, I guess, simulated clicking, just ensuring that it chases that Banshee. Or chases that Reaper, pardon me. Alright, we see the Reaper for Straylock gonna jump into the main base of MicroMachine, gonna start attacking this starport that's building. Doesn't kill the SCV. Reaper does, however, escapes. That's nice for Straylock. And yeah, we see this siege tank is just popping out, so that's going to be good and defensive for MicroMachine. Straylock is now at 2 mag field accelerator cyclones, getting out a third, making a Raven, and oh my gosh, no, it's not going to be a Battlecruiser, is it, from Straylock? Oh my god, this could officially be the best bot ever. Looks like the attempt at the fusion core was denied due to that Reaper, or delayed anyway. The Cyclones do lock onto the Reaper, they're going to be able to kill it off. MicroMachine, of course, is scouting this out, sees the fusion core, and this is, as far as the bot's concerned, how much speciality MicroMachine has programmed into it. Like, does MicroMachine have a programmed response to a Battlecruiser rush? Oh, Straylock, what are you doing? Go home, Straylock, you're drunk. I see a box with 40 liters sitting at a position. What even are those coordinates? I don't even know. Like, is it related to what it's scouting out? Anyway, we see this Banshee now coming in. Does get double locked on. The Raven actually going to allow that to be picked off very, very quickly by the Cyclones. The minimal damage getting done. We now see that Straylock's just continuing on. Both these players are actually doing like both these competitors are doing a pretty darn good job, I'll say. Like, this doesn't look too far away from a normal game of Starcraft 2. You see the thought process. It does have that AI touch, which is kind of just buildings in random positions. But no, I'm really liking this game. These two bots seem to be very well put together. MicroMachine, I guess, scouted its opponent's starport, or maybe the fusion core, and elected to go for a starport of its own, or a second starport of its own. Cyclone locked onto that. Reaper does end up killing it. Interestingly enough, MicroMachine, 6 minutes into the game, is still churning out single Reapers. So that's actually very interesting. Actually just has Reapers moving all over the map. Banshee now moving in. The third base attempt. Alright, we see MicroMachine reacting to that Banshee. Finds the random tank out on the map. This is actually just so crazy, the movements that these bots are doing. The Raven disabled that Banshee. However, I get the feel, was that a double cast of the Raven's interference matrix? I'm gonna check that out. Was that a double cast? All right, where's the Raven energy? I don't usually rewind, but I want to see how much energy did the Raven have. 100 energy. Yeah, what, 50? So yeah, the Raven, interestingly enough, actually goes for a double cast. So there's a bit of a bug in our Straylock code. Spamming that out, disabling the Banshee twice. Boom, there we go. I heard it kind of go twice, and I was like, wait a second. Yeah. So on Eternal Empire, we see a 4th base attempt being taken by MicroMachine. This is actually just pretty crazy. The economy that both these bots are getting up. Very, very strong economies. Meanwhile, they're still just making their both ragtag team of units. MicroMachine is getting up just continued starport production, hyperflight rotors, now getting up its own fusion core. I mean, Straylock got up a fusion core, but never got up actually a Battlecruiser or Banshee speed. So interesting lack of usage there. 4th base getting thrown up for Straylock. Cyclone locks onto that Reaper, kills it off. Straylock just going for the gas right away, so it seems that this bot really, really prioritizes its gas. As we see MicroMachine going to continue on with its harassment. The Raven should be coming in to help cut this down. High-sec auto tracking has, interestingly enough, been researched by both bots now. That's something that's rather curious. Okay, let's take a look. This Banshee is now locked on. Going crazy with the micro and the rapid acceleration they have with hyperflight rotors. That Banshee just looks so quick. Cyclone, however, does lock onto it. Raven is going to pursue that Banshee, however, not to death. Meanwhile, we see Straylock pushing out with the odd siege tank push with a Raven. However, the Raven's trying to avoid the Vikings. This siege tank, yeah, it's just straight up shooting at this orbital command. MicroMachine is microing its SCVs to make sure they stay out of the tank range. A couple of Cyclones come forward, going to be killing off That turret, actually, interestingly enough, interesting targeting priority by Straylock. I guess keep the Ravens safe. Auto turrets get thrown down as well. The Vikings come forward, but they can't do too much against these Cyclones, and the Cyclones are actually going to lock on and kill a lot of those Vikings. So this is looking pretty good for Straylock. As we take a look, both bots are now making a lot of siege tanks. I mean, MicroMachine made a lot of Vikings to start things off. The tanks are now getting set up for MicroMachine. Kills the tank of Straylock. However, there's nothing to counter this Banshee since all the Vikings died. Cyclones are out for MicroMachine. They can help out, but these tanks are taking a beating in the meantime, and it looks like that this base may actually die off. MicroMachine will have bases to spare as it's double expanding behind them. But this is looking pretty good here for Straylock. Straylock also getting up multiple more bases. So these bots are actually playing very, very similar to each other. And okay, now this is where things are going to get exciting. We do indeed have a Battlecruiser on the way. MicroMachine making a cattle bruiser. Gonna be able to just, I don't know if it'll teleport that across the map or what. No Yamato cannon has been researched by this. Oh, maybe if I ever make a bot, that's what I'll make, a BC bot, a Battlecruiser bot. All right, now let's take a look here. Cyclone locks onto that tank, doesn't kill it. However, another Cyclone locks onto another tank. So this is just such an odd unit composition. There's so much moving out on the map at once. Like, look at these units just moving back and forth. Meanwhile, there's still random Reapers just out on the map. Straylock came in to ensure that this location was still down. Looks like the Battlecruiser comes in, going to be trying to kill off that Cyclone. The Cyclone's running away. The BC is pursuing. Meanwhile, the push still going on at this base location. Banshee being chased away. There's so much going on. These two bots are actually just derping out so hard. It's like, I need to attack constantly. And it's actually kind of cool to see that these bots are honestly just on constant attack mode instead of building up to a big army. And they're both just continuously taking these little trades. Like, Cyclone locks onto a Cyclone there. I guess maybe Straylock's just trying to defend this location, and they're both just trying to defend their bases or something. Yeah, meanwhile, we see Straylock getting this base up. There's so much going on. Like, it's got to be so interesting to see the order of actions for these bots. Like, MicroMachine might just be like, oh, there's some Cyclones over here, so I got to take care of that. But then there's also this base up here that my Vikings hovering over, and these Ravens over here. And I gotta make sure that my Vikings are just going where they need to go, and it's like, they need over here, no over here, and it's kind of crazy. And now the Vikings are in pursuit of those Ravens. The Ravens actually do a very good job of avoiding the Vikings, it would seem. Cyclone does lock onto one of the Ravens, however, the Cyclones seem to break their lock rather early here for MicroMachine, missing out on potential kills, which I guess is just a decision to be made. Safety over potential damage getting done. Meanwhile, MicroMachine is pushing this location. Looks like this base has been canceled building, but hasn't been killed off. Banshee also being a pain. As the Battlecruiser's flying on over. The Cyclone, if it locks onto that, could deal some good damage to it. However, the Cyclone already burned its lock on. Battlecruiser will kill off the Cyclone. Not a lot of anti-air to challenge the BC here until a Viking does show up. The Vikings should be able to out-micro the Battlecruiser, but it's not doing the best job, so Straylock not having the best micro program for those bots against Battlecruisers. Who knows? Maybe it was also just trying to get down here or something. Just and that's making the bots go back and forth. MicroMachine says, is that a range upgrade for your missile turrets, or are you just excited to see me? Battlecruiser attacking a Thor. Thor is doing what it can. This one SCV being a hero, a second SCV comes to repair, and the BC teleports out in time. Now, will it be repaired by MicroMachine? The answer is yes, so that's a very cool function of the AI. Meanwhile, these bots are just trying to take every base out on the map. Both still cruising at 80 SCVs. Upgrades are on the way for both players. However, it does seem that Straylock is prioritizing that. There's actually 9 SCVs at a time being created for Straylock, as there is a lot of SCVs dying all over the map. The command center actually dies. This Thor is just doing Thor things, spinning in circles. And I'm honestly unsure of who's going to take this game. Like, it's really tricky to say who's going to win this one, because they both have such economies and they're just taking little trades. It's not like this game is building up to one fight. This game is like an actual war. There's Yamato cannon that was apparently researched, by the way, but that Battlecruiser does go down, so we're able to pick it off, I guess. And yeah, it's so tough to say who's going to win this game because they're just taking little trades. It's not like we're seeing their two armies suddenly fight each other. They're just constantly battling all over the place. A couple of Thors out for Straylock. Seems to be interesting that there's no Thors for MicroMachine. So it is that Thor versus Battlecruiser kind of thing. That Cyclone does get picked off. Straylock not pushing forward through here. And these Thors are trying to deal with the BCs, so the BCs are doing pretty well for themselves with the team. Cyclones do, however, lock onto the Battlecruiser. Gonna push it away. The tank, though, making this area a little bit unfriendly for Straylock. So it looks like MicroMachine's pushing on the left and the right. Seeing as how this used to be Straylock's base and now MicroMachine's getting it established. So it does seem that MicroMachine is starting to win out. Particularly if it kills this base in the bottom right. Supply is up for MicroMachine as both players are just making constant amounts of units, but it seems that Straylock is losing more. Not a ton more, 4,000 resources more. MicroMachine has got a very nice tank flower going on right now. Pretty much able to siege up and kill anything. Will do very good against the Thors. And that's exactly what they're doing as MicroMachine is now defending this base. Cyclone locked onto this Battlecruiser, gonna try and push it away, but this is quite an army for MicroMachine. Even with just like a small amount of infantry moving forward, this just looks like it's like actual war or something, you know? And let's take a look. We see Battlecruisers and Cyclones still fighting over here non-stop as Straylock is trying to hold on to this base. Looks like the Cyclones will lock on and kill that BC. That's pretty expensive for MicroMachine to lose. We do see, though, MicroMachine now starting to push in towards this base that belongs to Straylock. Cyclones come in, they do lock on some of the tanks. However, there's also Cyclones eating tank shots, so it's a bit of a mixed bag. Random Command Center is flying all the way over here for MicroMachine. SCV is trying to be a hero and repair it, but it will need to send the Command Center flying over the missile turret, trying to take this base. That's an interesting choice by MicroMachine. Cyclone gonna lock onto that turret. Interesting how they do prioritize those. Cyclone locks onto the Cyclone that's locked onto a turret. Looks like Straylock has halted the advance. And Straylock is, however, getting up the much better upgrades, whereas MicroMachine has neglected getting any further armor upgrades. They're getting, it is getting +2 ship weapons, but yeah, Straylock gonna have the upgrade advantage this game. And that could definitely help out. The BC is constantly tossing down Yamato cannons as these two players do seem to be taking a bit bigger of a fight. There's now 5 BCs flying in from different angles. One of them goes down. However, they're still spitting out that Yamato cannon. Doesn't look like there's enough anti-air to challenge these Battlecruisers, so a lot of the tanks are going to die. The BCs are, however, focused on trying to pick off this Thor. Cyclones as well need to be taken care of. The Battlecruisers doing all right for themselves. One of them, however, does perish. These two are, or one of them is actually on cooldown still for the teleport, so that's a bit unfortunate. SCV is trying to repair tanks, or the tanks are getting picked off. This is actually just a crazy battle going on between these bots. Constant SCV production from Straylock, interestingly enough, whereas it just seems that MicroMachine is not actually losing many workers. If we pull up the SCV's loss tab, it's 94 to 53. So yeah, definitely not as many. Both bots are just constantly trying to take more and more of these bases. Interestingly enough, neither of them elects to build planetaries, which is actually something that I find very interesting, seeing as how we have seen planetaries before. Like in that last game, in that last bot game, MicroMachine was basically just defending with a planetary fortress. We see Straylock looking to push on in. These tanks and Battlecruisers do seem to be doing alright, picking off that Thor. However, the rest of the army is coming down south. So this Thor being chased in the bottom right. However, Straylock trying to push down towards this location. Reapers still being produced by MicroMachine, getting what they can. The Cyclones are pursuing them away. Cyclones do pretty good at killing Reapers. How many Reapers have died this game? MicroMachine has lost 17 Reapers, which is more than the average game of Starcraft 2. Alright, now let's see these siege tanks moving forward. They're trying to break up this ramp over. There is a tank on the high ground for Straylock 2, gonna shoot the tanks that are trying to get sieged up. This is just a constant battle. Both players are very low on gas right now, so there is hang-ups for them. We see MicroMachine has produced additional barracks to make just Marines, but these are Marines without stim, without combat shields, so that's kind of just a money thing. Hellions would definitely be better if you're prioritizing mech play. Or Hellbats anyway. Good interference matrix by Straylock. Straylock starting to push in towards this location. Looks like MicroMachine is being pushed back. Resources lost are within 2,000 of each other. MicroMachine does still have the lead. Straylock is pushing down now. And yeah, MicroMachine's army has suddenly fallen off a little bit. Straylock's pushing forward, gonna be taking out this base, which is gonna hurt MicroMachine. Both players should still have pretty solid incomes. But yeah, I mean, MicroMachine loses that base. Tanks not getting the shots up that they need, not taking the fights they need, as Straylock's army is just bigger and built up, and so taking better trades, it would seem. MicroMachine is also having to deal with the pressure on the left side as these Cyclones are pushing in. This is just like completely different StarCraft 2 than we're used to see. I've seen some bot games which it kind of emulates more normal, like more human StarCraft 2 games, whereas this is just fully bot versus bot. Constant APM, constant attacks all over the place, harassing each other non-stop, really testing each other, and or really just pushing each other, I guess. These Marines not really going to do anything since they don't have combat shield or stim, so the Cyclone's just going to lock on, pick them off as MicroMachine's been pushed back, and this is becoming problematic for MicroMachine. The gas is starting to run out, seeing as how it's not mining on this base here. This base is mined out, so the gases really need to be established at this location here to keep that gas economy going, because, I mean, Straylock does have more bases mining gas, particularly if it gets that refinery up, that rich Vespine gas. But now we see MicroMachine's getting pushed back, and yeah, this isn't going to be like some big fight. It looks like that it's just going to be a slow death for MicroMachine. I mean, SCVs are now being pulled into the fight, so I mean, MicroMachine must be feeling very, very desperate. These two players constantly testing each other, forward, back, it's just red all over the map. Yeah, Cyclones locking onto each other. Yeah, this is something. This is no Alpha Star, but you know, I'm enjoying this, that's for sure. We see Straylock is now attacking the base in the bottom right, so gonna deny the mining there, and this is really gonna start bankrupting MicroMachine. Thing is how the base on the left is gonna die too. It looks like Straylock even already sending SCVs over there, wants to take it. Straylock taking this base. MicroMachine down on workers, and yeah, it looks like Straylock just being able to bully MicroMachine off bases, maybe with the... I think it looked like the harassment of Straylock was better with the, I guess, the units that it pushed in with the constant Cyclones, whereas MicroMachine was trying with like BCs and like a Cyclone to push up here. That just wasn't as effective as just the relentless Cyclone pressure that we've seen from Straylock. And now Straylock is very far ahead, 60 supply up. MicroMachine trying to fight this one out. His tank's getting some good shots off as the units of Straylock come forward. Straylock's got a very, very high, very high mineral count. Not a lot of gas to its name, so these players have just been spending so much gas going full mech. But I would like to see, instead of just churning out like weak single Marines, it would be cool if the bots would maybe get like a combat shield or stim and then spend their excessive gas banks. But it's understandable how there's a little bit of wackiness happening at this stage in the game. Like, who really programs their bot expecting a 20-minute TVT constant pushing situation like this? This is very much, I presume anyway, just the bot's behavior basically just going. And just this is how it works out. This is what the bots decide to do, or how their behavior handles getting into a later game like this. Vikings landing for Straylock, gonna pick off the tanks, gonna push forward. MicroMachine has lost all those tanks now, and this is looking very troublesome. MicroMachine has gone into Reaper production. Interestingly enough, we see Reapers aren't very good against Cyclones, so I'm not sure what good this is going to do MicroMachine. I want to know what triggers it to start making Reapers at this stage in the game. Is it just that it's got a very low amount of resources to its name? So it's like, yeah, okay. Reapers are good. Or just sees the Marines or something. It is kind of curious, or maybe it's just that it's down on supply, and so it wants to try and get those good trades, but I am unsure, as this game does just seem to be going for Straylock. MicroMachine losing pretty much all of its mining, not able to hold on to these locations. This base here is still mining, getting minerals, but not mining the gas, and it's pretty much impossible for MicroMachine to come back at this stage. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this commentary, make sure to go ahead and hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Yeah. I mean, leave a comment in the description down below if you did enjoy this game. Help with the algorithm, and if you watched all the way to the end of the video, say 100% in the comments down below, since MicroMachine no longer has 100% against Straylock, it would seem. Unless it's like a rounding thing, but no, the 100% is definitely broken, as we see Straylock won this game. Well played by Straylock, able to win out in this match. And yeah, so leave a comment, subscribe, join the Discord. Recently added a ProBot section on the channel. Yeah, Straylock just gonna push forward and win the game. MicroMachine can micro its one SCV all day long, but I'm not sure it's gonna work out for it. Eventually, this bot will be like, yeah, I think I'm dead. When it's got nothing to its name, the Reaper's being locked on and killed. That is a lot of Cyclones. A lot of Cyclones. SCV's even coming up to repair. Straylock's like, alright, I'm maxed out, so I'm not sure what I should be doing right now. Cyclone's just locking onto everything, and yeah. Well played. GG. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning in. My name is LaughNgamez. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.